Right then everybody, welcome back to Angler Carl. Now in this video today I have got a great review on a hybrid feeder that I don't think I've ever seen before. This is the Daiwa ZON changing weight hybrid feeder. So what is so special about this hybrid feeder? Well, the first thing is that you can switch the weights out on this. So essentially you'll have a little weight that you'll be able to change, and you have different sizes. So you buy the hybrid feeder and then you get a separate pack with little like weights in that you can use. If you are enjoying the content and you do like what you're seeing, make sure you smash that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out. Share this video around, I really do appreciate it, and thank you. So the first thing is, it says the Daiwa ZON weight change feeder not only serves as a crossover from the standard flatbed method feeder, but also offers the unique capability to add 5 and 10 gram weights for situations with extra casting power is needed, but if you need to keep the feeder size the same. And one thing I will say about these feeders, the weights will fit the medium, small and large, so you don't have to worry about buying a different size feeder. You know, it all fits the same way and they all work the same, so you haven't got any worries about that. You can literally use these and they'll all work with one another. A few things to worth note as well, they only do 5 and 10 grams, so as far as I know there's no other weights other than 5 and 10 grams. So say if you wanted a bit more variety, you kind of ain't got it. They've only released the 5 and 10 gram. Whether Daiwa will release different weights further down the line is anybody's guess. So it also says that these fishing feeders are available from small in 20 gram up to large in 65 gram, which is an absolute massive weight. I'll be honest with you, it's ridiculous. And I have got the price on the phone right here of the weights. So the $2.99 for the 5 and 10 gram weight, which I think it's so for me. I do feel like you could have made them $1.99. I mean, that's all they are. They're literally just 2 weights and that's it. You know, they're nothing special. So again, it's, you know, it's a bit of a iffy one for me. The actual price of these Daiwa ZON feeders is £3.50. Now to me, that's a very good deal. You can't go wrong with that, you know. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that price for me. It's a great price, pretty much like every hybrid feeder these days. So big thumbs up for me on the price with that. One thing I do want to mention is that when I bought this feeder brand new, I actually didn't notice it at the time, but there was a little blemish where the green had rubbed off, or the sort of like the greeny grey colour had actually rubbed off, and that is brand new. So the thing is, like, manufacturing issues, you know, are there already. And to me, usually when I think of Daiwa, you're always getting amazing quality. You know, you never seem to have a problem with quality. But with this feeder, there was a little blemish, and I will be showing that in a little clip that I took of this feeder. So yeah, that's just something to worth note. Let me know if you've bought one of these feeders, and let me know if you've had that problem as well. Another thing I want to mention is these do come with the quick change design, so you'll slide the feeder up the line and you can just pull it off and put another feeder on. I'll get onto that in a minute. One thing I do really like about this feeder, and to be honest I'm a big fan of this and I've never seen this before from a hybrid feeder, is the sort of design. Even in the small, the design is very wide, so you can get a lot of bait in the feeder. With it being such a wide profile, you can get a good amount of bait in, and I'm not going to lie, it's very easy to load up. And sometimes I find with small hybrid feeders is the fact that you can't always get big hook baits in easy, whereas with the small hybrid feeder that I'm using today, I would have absolutely no problem in getting that bait in the feeder and everything, and I think that's a really big positive for me. The design and the shape is very, very, very good. So I'm going to get one of the weights out and I'm going to show you people, and I'm going to tell you my honest opinion and what I think of this hybrid feeder. So these are the weights to them, and they're sort of like a curve shape. They sort of mould to the body of the feeder, and then they have this little hole here where the stem goes straight through, and then there's a little slit here where obviously that slides straight onto the line to fit it on. This is the 10 gram one, and the one that I've currently got on it is a 5 gram one, because it's not a very far cast here at Ravenfield Ponds, and to be honest with you, you don't even have to have these on if you don't want. You could literally just buy the feeder, because the feeders are weighted themselves. These are, like Daiwa says, just a little bit of add-on to get you that extra distance or what have you. Now, my main point is, with these, is I find the changeable weights a bit pointless. I find them a bit gimmicky almost. I mean, 10 grams and sort of 5 grams to me just isn't going to make that much of a noticeable difference to me fishing. You know, I'm not going to notice and think, oh yeah, it's gone an extra like 5 or 3 yards further just because of this weight. I just find them a little bit pointless, and I find it's more of a good marketing strategy to get you people to sort of buy these feeders. You know, it's something to say this has never been done before, and I don't know whether whether they'll continue with this sort of thing. It makes me wonder. But for me, I've always thought if I want to chuck further, I'll just buy a heavier feeder and I'll use a quick change system. Right, so this is the feeder with the weight on, and I did some close-up shots with this, and one thing I have noticed is that it does leave a little bit of a gap, but it's not a deal breaker, and it does fit, to be fair, quite snugly, and you wouldn't notice too much that this is, you know, an added extra weight. And like I said, this is the 30 gram feeder. I don't know if you can see on the back again whether the camera will focus on that. I don't think it will, but yeah, on the back it does have the 30 gram, and you do have these little like escape bits here so the water can get underneath as well to release the pellets. As I previously mentioned, I'm a big fan of this wide design. I think it's really, really clever. And then, so what you do is remove this little bit of rubber up the line here, and then you pop the stem out here, and then literally the weight comes straight off, and even the feeder comes off as well, and then you're just left with the stem. Now, to get this all back on, you just pretty much do the same. So you'll slide the weight right on here like that, so it kind of looks like a pickaxe almost. It does look like a mini pickaxe. Like I said, this is the 5, and it'll sit snugly in there, and then all you do is literally put the feeder on the line, slot it straight down, and then everything attaches up to it, and then all you do is you bring your little rubber back up, and then this will just sit straight on top, and then that's it. That is your feeder. So it is dead simple. But like I said, the only thing for me with these, I just think it's just easier to literally take this off, and say if you've bought another Daiwa feeder that you know, say if you've got a heavy one, just take that off, switch that out, and then swap it for another one. So for me, I don't really understand why they would make these. I mean, some people may think they're a cool addition. Some people might think an extra 5 or 10 gram will make a difference. You could swap out the 30 gram and then use a different weight feeder if you did want to cast that bit further. And to be honest with you, on commercials and places like Ravenfield Ponds, I don't find myself much needing to switch for certain weights. I'll literally think if the wind picks up, I'll just switch the actual feeder, or say if the wind dies down, again I'll move back on another one. I just don't think enough people will utilise this to make it worth its while. Now, another thing I want to talk about is casting. Does the extra added weight affect casting? Does it feel any different? No, it doesn't. Even the width doesn't affect casting whatsoever. If anything, it feels very nice to cast, and it just feels like any other hybrid feeder. You know, it flies through the air lovely, and it goes with a nice plop as well. So that is one thing, again, that is just like any other feeder. Some people might hate it, and some people might not be a big fan of the width of it, because sometimes it can be a little bit awkward and you have to get more pellets just to mould around the edges. But for me, I don't know, it just fits nicely. If you don't want lots of bait in them, they can be a little bit awkward. I find, like I said, even with that small feeder, I can fit a lot of bait in it just because of the width. And as I've mentioned, all the weights are compatible with the medium, small, large. So that is one good thing, and I'm glad Daiwa thought about that. And I think that's why I'm guessing the feeders are so wide, just so them weights can fit every one of them feeders. So to sum this video up, is the Daiwa ZON hybrid feeder worth your time and money? Is it worth going to get if you already have other hybrid feeders? Absolutely no way. In my opinion, there's just, for me, if you want further casting, just take your hybrid feeder off, slide it up the line, pop a new one on, and you're good to go. For me, there's not enough in it to add a 5 gram weight or a 10 gram weight to think, oh, I just need to get that little bit further. Because on most commercials, you know, most of your rods are going to cover you for that distance anyway. And if not, all you do is big reel, big rod, heavy 60 gram feeder, and there you go. It's not going to make any difference, in my opinion, at all, or certainly you're not going to notice any difference. It's a bit of a, you know, marketing strategy to say, look at these new feeders, to grab people's attention and stuff like that. So yeah, always let me know in the comments below what you people think, whether you disagree, whether you agree. I'm always open to hear what you guys have got to say. And yeah, like I've said before, in my reviews, I'm always honest. And does that mean it's a bad hybrid feeder? No, it doesn't. It's still a damn good hybrid feeder. Apart from the little blemish on it, I was a bit disappointed to see that for a brand new feeder. So hopefully the durability will hold up good. Like I said, I think it was just a bit of a manufacturing fault. It doesn't mean it's a bad feeder. It's still a great feeder. And say if you don't have any hybrid feeders at all, I recommend you try these ones, just because with that width, it's great for getting that bit more bait in. So if you did enjoy this review, please leave a like on this video, always helps me out. Post your comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this YouTube channel. Share the video around and subscribe for new videos every single week. Thank you very much for watching this video. And as always say, if you're fishing, have a good one.